for all of you guys. I think one of the problems is that the size of the community. Would you be open to discuss about managing it in different pieces so that we can manage smaller parts rather than manage 900 units at a time?
I'm in favor of breaking up the association into smaller parts or reincorporating the village so it can be managed more effectively. That's outside the box.
I'd like to say that I think that these types of discussions are really important, and I think it would be great if the board could start discussing it. I wouldn't say I'm in favor of it right away, but I'm definitely in favor of the discussion. And that's why you may or may not have heard the talks that I've been talking about starting a 50-year committee that's talking about long-term changes in our community, where we want to go in the future with the corporation, what the corporation does. Absolutely, let's talk about that.
I'm also in favor of the discussion. After discuss, find out what we can and can't do legally.
What's the position? What would you, how would you go about it? Would you have different?
If we can legally do it and it's beneficial financially to all 914 of us, then I think it would be a way to go. But it has to work for all of us.
I'll go along with Bill. So.
I believe that it is feasible to do a master association to cover each of the different sections and have each individual section have its own sub-association. They would all answer to the master association. All our amenities are all tied, so you can't just totally dissolve and have 4 separate associations because I'm down in section 1, and section 1 doesn't have a pool. Section 2 has a pool. Section 4 has a pool. But sections 1, 3, and 5 do not have a pool. So I mean, it would have to be something. But then again, we have to discuss it. We have to know the numbers. If a well-planned division like that, you have to know what the numbers are before you jump into anything. That's why it would have to be up for discussion and long-term planning.
Jeff?
I think it would be hard. I think it's a great idea, but I think it would be pretty hard because, like Ron's saying, somebody from his phase might be going, well, they have a pool, and so why should we be paying the same dues as that part or whatever, that phase, because they have more to offer or more things to do. I mean, if I'm paying my dues, but my landscaping looks like crap, and I look at Ron's, I'm like, well, start pointing fingers, and not at Ron, but I'm talking about at that subdivision of the board, let's say. I personally think it'd be a nightmare.
Kelly? I think it's actually a good idea as a division because, there's all different parts, but being able to work as one whole, I think splitting them up actually by phases would be, a good idea because I think actually that the older phases need a lot more attention when it comes to maintenance and things like that. So I think that there should be schedules based on phases, but everybody should be able to work together as a whole.
Can I just add one thing to mine, please? And the only thing with that too is, it's like they said earlier, we have 8 people out of 914 units. How are we going to get 5 different boards to answer to the master board? That's something we have to look at right now. Well, I'm just saying, I don't know, but we have 8 people out of 914 units. Let me just say that.
Well, it's probably a good idea. I don't know about the legalities of it, but anytime you break something down into smaller parts, it's usually easier to manage each part. As far as the pools go, that could be common to the entire community. I don't see a problem there. But I guess it would have to be something that the board would discuss and the community would discuss. And one thing, again, I'm not an expert on condominium law and what the board is allowed to tell you or not tell you. But it seems to me that as homeowners in this community, you should be apprised of everything that's going on here. And I don't mean you have to come down to the office and ask for a piece of paper. I mean, you should be apprised of this. And this cloak of secrecy that goes on half the time, I'm not understanding. Now, I'm told there are legal reasons for this, But within those boundaries, I think you should still be made apprised of what goes on. This way, you can all make a decision as to which way you want to go. But again, this is another topic that is open to discussion and fiscal constraints.
We've reached the hour.
Just one question.
I'm going to say thank you to everyone. We said we'd go for about a half hour. If you have questions and the candidates want to stay behind, feel free to ask them.
Could you have them all repeat their names again?
Yes.
My name is Larry Fleming. You can see more about me at larryfleming.info.
My name is Mark Kowalski.
Bill Whalen.
George Wire.
Ron Hart, Ronald Jeffrey.
Kelly Osterstock.
Mitch Capital.
Thank you everyone for coming tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm awfully sorry that we ran out of chairs. Some of you had to stand. But at the same time, we have 914 homeowners. It is a little discouraging that we only have approximately 50 people here. I was under the impression that if you live in a condo community, you should try and become involved. I've lived here for 30 years. I'm getting old. But at the same time, we need the votes to come in. I don't mind counting them, and I'm pretty sure my mailbox is not going to overflow tomorrow. Just keep the ballots coming. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Was it fun?
I had a tough time until tonight getting the faces of the names.
So you're going to cast your ballot, right?
Anyway, I'm going to cast